Humans offered a ceasefire. Year 11 of the Border Wars. 17 species had joined the anti-human coalition. Some for territory, some for ideology, some simply because everyone else was fighting, and staying neutral seemed dangerous. The war was grinding into stalemate. Humanity held their borders, but couldn't expand. The coalition couldn't break through, but couldn't afford to stop trying. Casualties mounted, resources drained, war weariness spread. Then, at 8 o'clock Galactic Standard Time on a Tuesday, every species in the coalition received the same transmission. From Terran Federation Diplomatic Corps to all coalition member subject, ceasefire proposal. The Terran Federation offers immediate ceasefire to any coalition member accepting the following terms. 1. Mutual recognition of current borders. 2. Non-aggression pact, 50-year minimum. 3. Trade normalization within 6 months. 4. Joint defense cooperation, optional. Response required within 72 hours. Terms offered individually, not collectively. First responders receive priority consideration. Regards, Ambassador Chunwei, Terran Diplomatic Corps. The message was simple, professional, and strategically brilliant. Because it didn't offer peace to the coalition, it offered peace to individual members. First come, first served. On Velthara Prime, High Command convened emergency session. It's a trap, Admiral Court declared. Humans are losing. This is desperation. Or a strategy, Intelligence Director Vex suggested. They're trying to fracture the coalition by offering surrender terms. Let them. We reject and press our advantage. The Veltharian response was unanimous. Ceasefire offer rejected. Coalition remains united. Similar responses came from 15 other species. Rejection, defiance, unity. The Zyphery Collective's response was particularly dismissive. Humanity's attempt to divide us reveals their weakness. We fight until total victory. But the 17th species responded differently. The Miran Commonwealth was a minor civilization. 3 inhabited worlds. Population barely 3 billion. They joined the coalition reluctantly. Pressure from larger neighbors made neutrality dangerous. 11 years of war had devastated them. Their industrial capacity strained. Military reserves depleted. Casualties mounting faster than they could replace. Chancellor Mirakan read the human offer carefully. Then read it again. What do our military advisors say? She asked. That we're 6 months from collapse, General Corvan replied. Our reserves are exhausted. Industrial production can't keep pace. One more major engagement, and we're defenseless. And our coalition partners? Silence. They haven't responded to our request for reinforcement in 8 months, Corvan said quietly. They see us as expendable. Buffer territory between them and human space. Mirakan studied the ceasefire terms. Recognition of borders. Non-aggression. Trade normalization. Defense cooperation. If we accept, she said slowly, the others will call us traitors. If we don't accept, we cease to exist as a civilization. Mirakan made her decision. From Miran Commonwealth to Terran Federation subject. Ceasefire proposal. The Miran Commonwealth accepts your terms. We request immediate negotiations. Chancellor Mirakan. The response reached Earth within hours. Human reply came within minutes. Negotiations unnecessary. Terms accepted as stated. Implementation begins immediately. Day 1 after Miran acceptance. Human construction vessels entered Miran space. Unarmed, civilian marked. They began fortifying border stations, upgrading defensive platforms, reinforcing vulnerable installations. Day 3. Medical frigates arrived carrying supplies. Trained doctors. Advanced equipment. They set up field hospitals and began treating Miran wounded using human medical technology decades ahead of Miran capabilities. Day 7. Supply transports delivered industrial equipment, raw materials, energy generation systems. Everything Miran needed to rebuild their strained economy. Day 14. Human military advisors began training Miran defense forces, not for offensive operations, for defense, teaching advanced tactics, sharing intelligence, coordinating response protocols. The coalition watched in growing horror. Miran borders, previously the coalition's easiest target, became increasingly fortified. Human-supplied defensive weapons made assault costly. Human intelligence gave Miran advance warning of attacks. Human advisors helped Miran forces defeat incursions with minimal casualties. Meanwhile, coalition supply lines began experiencing problems. Trade routes that crossed near Miran's space, suddenly unreliable. Logistics networks disrupted. Resources that used to flow smoothly, delayed or diverted. Nothing overtly hostile, just unexplained inefficiencies that multiplied across coalition operations. Humans are supporting Miran, Admiral Court reported. They're not just offering peace, they're building an ally. Then we punish the Miran for betrayal, Veltharian High Command decided. Make an example. They tried. A Veltharian battle group entered Miran's space, intending to demonstrate the cost of accepting human terms. They encountered defenses they hadn't expected, weapons they couldn't counter, tactics that anticipated their moves. And when they pressed the attack, human advisors participated in defense. Not officially, not overtly, but Veltharian casualties mounted until retreat became necessary. Week 6 after Miran acceptance, 3 more species quietly contacted humanity requesting ceasefire terms. Week 10, 5 more species accepted. The coalition fractured because humanity hadn't offered peace to everyone. They'd offered it strategically to species they could help, species whose acceptance would weaken coalition logistics, species whose defection would create strategic advantages. And by making the offer first come, first served, they created competition, fear of being left fighting alone while neighbors made peace. Within 6 months, the coalition collapsed, not through military defeat, through strategic alliance building, through demonstrating that peace with humanity came with benefits, while continued warfare came with isolation. The species who'd accepted early, like Miran, prospered, rebuilt, strengthened. The species who'd rejected the offer, like Velthara, found themselves fighting alone, without allies, against an enemy who'd turned their neighbors into partners.